All right, all right. So I hope everyone's week is going well so far, as I've said. So welcome to our webinar, and we're going to talk about the Pro Fathering in 15, a flexible and budget-friendly way to include dads. My name is Justin. I am NFI's Marketing and Training Coordinator. And today I have the pleasure of supporting this training alongside our speaker for today, National Father Initiative's Chief Marketing Officer, Melissa Byers. If you could give them a wave, Melissa. And she will introduce more of herself in a little while. So in the background, I will be responding to your questions. Sorry, in the background, who will be responding to your questions and chats will be NFI President, Mr. Christopher Brown. So I know we're eager to learn today, so I'll make this quick. I'll just take this time to announce a few housekeeping rules and logistics for a smooth webinar for everyone today. We will be together from now up until 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And for the best experience, we recommend closing any unnecessary applications and ensuring that you have a stable internet connection. The webinar is being recorded and will be made available to you guys within a few working days or within 48 hours. We send this within 48 hours. So you can also use the chat function to share your thoughts and interact with other participants. To those of you who are just coming in, feel free to use the chat function to share your name, job title in your organization, and where you are coming from. So this is a good opportunity for everyone to widen your own networks. So if you have any questions, please use the Q&A box found below your video. We will address as many questions as we can during the webinar. And if there are any unanswered questions, we will reply to you in an email after the webinar. Once the Q&A question is answered, it will be also made available for other participants to view. That said, please refrain from using the Q&A box like the chat box, and please be advised that we may not be able to see your questions on chat. So please put all of your questions in the Q&A box. So after the webinar, you will receive a brief post survey, and we ask that you take a few minutes to let us know your thoughts and suggestions about the webinar. So without further ado, Melissa, you may take it away.
Okay, great. You're seeing my screen okay? Justin, are you seeing my screen okay?
Sorry, I put myself on mute. Yes, yes.
Okay, wonderful. You're on mute and I can't see anyone once I share. So welcome everyone. I'm so glad you're here today. Thank you for taking the time to join us to learn about one of our most popular products, resources, programs, if you will, called ProFathering15. Just want to get started, introduce myself. My name is Melissa Byers. I am the Chief Marketing Officer here at National Fatherhood Initiative. I've been here for over 15 years. There's a photo of my dad and I over on the left there. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago, but I want every child to have as great of a dad as I had. And so that's really what is behind my work here and why I've stayed so long. I really enjoy supporting organizations that are working with dads every day and just help them to be the best dads they can be. In my role here at NFI, I develop and execute our marketing initiatives, which help us achieve our strategic goals. I also oversee our Father Source Resource Center, which is where we sell our variety of programs and resources, and where we sell ProFathering15. I have over 20 years of experience in marketing, product development, and organizational management. And I'm actually from Northern Virginia. I graduated from George Mason University with a BA in communication. I also have certificates in graphic design and web design from Montgomery College there in Rockville. And then I also have a certificate in user experience design from the Nielsen Norman Group. I love all things arts, crafts, design, marketing, anything where I can be creative. And I currently live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I have 2 cats and a dog named Gia. So our agenda for today, we will go over the ProFathering15 program first. Then I will do a short live preview. So I will actually open the course and navigate around so you can see how that functions. I also have some case studies, if you will, or examples of how partners are using it with dads currently. So these are partners of NFI who have enrolled dads and are using this as one of their programs. I've also got a couple of reviews to share from dads, and then we have time for questions, as well as a special opportunity for folks at the end that I will share. So what is ProFathering15? So ProFathering15 is an online fatherhood program that organizations use to engage dads. It has 15 fatherhood topics that are presented in an online course learning format. So you'll see the gentleman here to the right. You can access it on a laptop, a mobile device, a tablet. Any of those are ways that it can be accessed. And the way that dads are enrolled is that you can enroll and pay for them individually as you go, and I'll share the cost in a moment, or you can purchase what we call enrollment credits, and then you have those on hand to redeem with dads whenever you need them or whenever you're ready to sign a dad up. And ProFathering15 is available in English and Spanish. So the 15 topics that I mentioned, which I'll share with you in a moment, the goal of those topics is to build pro-fathering knowledge, attitudes, and skills that are relevant to any kind of dad. So this can be a dad of any race, ethnicity, income, marital status, custody status, the list goes on. It's for really any dad at all. And it engages the dads visually through text, videos, graphics, and other interactive content. One of the reasons we called it ProFathering15, well, actually, the main reason is that there are 15 topics, and each topic takes about 15 minutes to complete. And within each topic, there are 5 short sections that I will show you in a moment that help engage dad in the topic that he's going through. There's also an option at the top of each topic to print the content of the topic. So you could actually provide a physical copy to dads if you needed to, or if you want them to have a physical copy to take home with them of the content in each section. So you might wonder, where did this come from? Why did we create ProFathering15? Well, some of you may know us well for some of our other fatherhood programs like 24/7 Dad, Inside Out Dad, Understanding Dad. But we've always heard from organizations that they wanted more of a flexible and self-paced program for dads. Specifically, self-paced is why we created this. People were looking for a program that didn't require a facilitator or staff to have to run the program. They wanted something that didn't require a lot of time for dads to complete it. And they didn't want to have a staff person to either facilitate it or sit with the dad to do it, although they can. It's also something that, people wanted where dads could complete it from afar, meaning that they didn't have to come into the actual physical location to participate in the program. So one example would be that it's ideal for rural dads who aren't physically able to come into the facility, or for any other reason that they're not able to come into the facility, transportation issues, work schedule, things like that. People just generally wanted that self-paced option, flexible, self-paced, something dads could kind of do on their own completely, or they could do it on their own and then work with a staff member to go deeper on the topics. And it's also a very budget-friendly alternative to some of our larger fatherhood programs. So you might be asking, what's the cost? It is budget-friendly at $15 per dad. Each dad, once they enroll, they have 60 days to complete the program. So they can log back in and out as many times as they want during those 60 days until they complete it. And as I mentioned, you can purchase enrollment credits in any quantity, and then you redeem those as needed, and they're valid for 1 year. So, for example, some organizations have existing fatherhood programs, and they've got lots of dads coming through often. They may buy those enrollment credits and be using them fairly quickly, or they may just choose to enroll each dad one off each time as they need to enroll one. Then there's others who may not have dads every day all year long. They want to have something in their back pocket, so to speak, that they could use with a dad when he comes in with the mom or when he comes in for services. So the enrollment credits work great for that because the credit is valid for 1 year. So what that means is whenever you use one enrollment credit to enroll a dad, they have 60 days to complete it. But that actual enrollment credit, it's a coupon code, that's valid for 1 year. So you can budget for that and then have it throughout the year. So some delivery methods to think about. So, you may think, oh, it's an online course. That's really the only way to use it. Well, that's not true. I mean, that's how we built it, was for dads to complete on their own. But what we've also found is that oftentimes organizations will have dads complete it with staff interaction. or follow-up. Sometimes they will complete it in person with personal consultation with a staff member or a mentor. Others will use it in a home visitor situation where they'll integrate it into an existing program plan, or maybe the home visitor's meeting with the mom, and this is something the dad goes through beforehand, and then they can talk with the dad about the topics that were covered. Some organizations do actually deliver it in person to a small group. So they may have the dads all, logged in, or just log into one that they're showing on a screen. But each dad does need their own enrollment to receive their certificate, which we will show you in a bit. Then we also hear a lot of people who are using it virtually. So a staff will go through the program with dads virtually, and they may or may not have it up on their own mobile phone, computer, what have you. But again, they work through it on their own outside of that also in order to earn that certificate. The 15 topics. These are somewhat familiar to you if you have run or are familiar with Inside Out Dad or 24/7 Dad. We have some really tried and true fatherhood topics that span the gamut of things that are important for dads to know. So similar to our other programs, this program also starts out with family history. If we don't look at the history of the family we grew up and what our own dad was like, it's a little hard to think about how, you as a man will father. And so it really helps start with reflection and then what it means to be a man and a dad. And then from there, handling emotions, grief and loss, a men's health, you and mom, so relationships, talking with mom, co-parenting, fathering skills. Then we get into child-specific things such as child development and child discipline, sexuality, intimacy, work-family balance, and money management. So those are the 15 topics. Now, you can jump around in these topics, and I'll show you that when I show the program live. But it is most ideal to go through them 1 through 15 because they are, especially those first few, they're in a very specific order on purpose to start with family history. So each of the topics have sections, and each section, it's the same in every topic as far as the sections in each topic, so that dads have something familiar as they start going through the topics. They know what to expect. So in the topics, the sections are what to know. So this is just sort of the general awareness raising and increasing the father's knowledge of this topic in general. Then we go into deeper awareness and knowledge of the topic with the what else section. Then we have what to ask. These are questions that the dad can ask himself to help him apply what he's learning. So it suggests that he pulls out a sheet of paper, something to write on, not required, but many dads do prefer that. Organizations sometimes use that as the talking points for when they do meet with a dad to discuss what was learned, or maybe he shares what he wrote down when he did go through it. Each topic also has a Get Inspired section with a short inspirational video. And then there's always tips and guidance on how you can learn more about that topic or generally on parenting, fathering, and relationships. So tracking dad's progress. So this is an online course format, like I mentioned. And unfortunately, it is intended for dads to do this self-paced, right? For a dad to be individually enrolled, and a dad can then see his own progress, right? But what we've learned is that many organizations do want to be able to also see the dad's progress. So we have a little workaround that a lot of folks use successfully, which is when you decide to roll out ProFathering15 with your dads, when you assign them their enrollment, you'll use their email address to register them. But then we recommend that you use the same password to enroll all of the dads. So every dad would have their unique email address, but then the password would be something that's the same. So some organizations will use something related to the name of the organization. Or let's say you just use Fathers Matter 123, something like that, where you advise each father, if they are enrolling themselves, to use that password. And that allows you then to be able to log in as them and see their progress. Inside the course, while I did mention there are questions to be answered in one of the sections, the dads don't actually answer the questions in the course. Like I mentioned, they use a sheet of paper, pen, and write that down. So there is actually no personal information that's stored in the course. The only thing is just that you know their email address and you'll know the password. Now, if you have any concerns about this, some organizations just have used a standard procedure where they have the dad sign a HIPAA release if they have any concerns about logging in on the dad's behalf. But once they have that signed, this seems to be a great way for them to log in and check. And of course, the dads can log in and check their progress at any time too. Some organizations, like I mentioned before, will have the dad or they will print out the content of each topic. So as a reminder, like I mentioned, and I'll show you in the live preview, there's a link at the top of each topic for you to download a printable PDF version of the content. And so some organizations will have the dads actually write the answers to those questions I mentioned on that sheet and then turn in the sheet. And so that may be to just check their progress to make sure they completed the topic, or they may bring that sheet to a group-based program where the dads are all going to talk about their thoughts on that topic, that kind of thing. It's very flexible, and that's how we developed ProFathering15. You know, it is a wonderful enclosed program, but we also want it to be very easy for you to use in a variety of different environments and situations. If you are using a coupon code, so the enrollment code I mentioned, let's say you purchase 25 of those, at any time, Jackie Evans in our resource center, she can check the usage of that code for you to see how many you have remaining or how many dads have actually used the code. So we're also here to assist you with any questions that you have along the way about your dad's progress. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and move on from this screen to look at the program live. So bear with me while I switch how I'm sharing my screen. Okay, great. Justin, can you let me know if you're able to see that okay?
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. All right, so this is sort of the back end of ProFathering15, if you will. Once you enroll a dad, they will have their name up here at the top once they've enrolled. I am on what's called the dashboard. The dashboard shows the course or courses that they're enrolled in. Typically, they're just going to have ProFathering15 here. I have a couple of others that I've been working with that are listed here. But this is how they would locate and find their course within the system. So at this point, I've signed in using my email address and my password, maybe the password that was given to me by the organization I'm working with. And then you just simply click into the course. So the way that it's organized is it uses a left-hand panel. So all 15 topics that we reviewed, starting from family history all the way down to managing money, are located on the left-hand side here. Once you click the down arrow, you'll be able to see what is inside of each topic. So the welcome topic is a little different than the rest. The rest have those sections that I mentioned: what to know, what else, what to ask, get inspired, learn more. And then there's actually a short quiz to review their learning. So in the welcome section, we first just kind of let dads know what to expect, what this is about, but then also how to navigate the course. They have to click continue after each of the sections within each topic to be able to have it count toward their completion. So I'll show you that in a moment. We start out with a video from our president, Christopher Brown. We also have a video from a gentleman who participated in one of our 24/7 dad programs. And then we jump right into the first topic. So let's check out family history and what to know. So let me just show you around this page a bit. Here is the link to the downloadable printable version that I mentioned to you. I would click this, except it's not going to show it on this particular screen share, but just trust me when I say that will download a PDF version for you. We've also recently added an audio file in case any of the dads you're working with have literacy challenges, unable to read, possibly English is their second language, but you know, they are able to then listen to
Topic
it
1, family history.
through
What
this.
to know.
So instead of having to read it all, they're able to listen to it throughout and read it if they want. So this is the first section, what to know. So down here at the bottom, I'm going to click complete and continue. And once I did that, you'll notice over on the left, we now have a little check mark here showing that I completed that section. So now we're on what else? So I could play the section, I could read this section, and I'm going to complete and continue. Again, what to ask. This is the question section that I mentioned. So they can listen to it, but then they can also grab a pen and paper to write down these answers if they wish. These are the questions that I said some organizations have the dads write answers to on that downloadable PDF that I showed you. But it just really helps them reflect and go deeper with what they've learned so far. Now you'll notice I didn't click next. So therefore there's no checkbox here, or excuse me, complete and continue, I should say. I didn't click complete and continue. I just went over here, and that will be a problem later. The program will think that I never finished that section. So it's important to know that each dad must click complete and continue for that to get its check mark, to ultimately get the topic with a check mark, which is what we want to see. So here we've got a video that dads can watch, and I'll just share this for your understanding of what these videos are about.
Hey, Dad. Get inspired by the work you've done so far in family history. You've taken a powerful first step on your fatherhood journey. You've learned how your family of origin affects how you raise your children and how it can motivate you to become an even better father. You've also learned how other factors, like television and social media, have affected how you raise your children. If you haven't answered the questions in the What to Ask section, make sure you do. They'll help you identify and process how your family of origin and other elements of your environment have combined to affect your fathering. Complete this topic by going through the Learn More section. It will help you understand the impact that your self-worth has on the father you are and that you can become. You'll also learn how to build self-worth in yourself and your children in creative ways. Remember, your past doesn't define your future. Your awareness and commitment do. Every question you answer, every reflection you make, brings you closer to breaking cycles and creating a stronger connection with your children. You're doing vital work. Keep going.
Okay. And if you notice, as soon as that video is done, we have a continue button here, or we have a continue button here. So we'll go ahead and click on that. And now we got our check mark for that section. Again, here is the second to last section, which is Learn More. Again, we have the audio file, some different other pieces of information, complete and continue. And then this quiz is simply for just self-learning, self-progress. You know, did I learn what I was expecting to learn here? And so they'll go through the questions, and then they will, you know, pick the correct answers. So let's say I pick this one, and I'm going to say confirm. Oops, that's the wrong answer. Well, it gives me the correct answer, and I can say, oh, okay, C was the correct answer. As long as I click next and click continue, I don't have to get a perfect score. The idea is that I've learned something from that. So now you'll see on the left here, family history is done. We have the big check mark in the circle there. We've got all of these little check marks here. And now we're on to the next section, being a man and a dad. So again, we just repeat. Download a printable version. We've got our audio versions. This one has some additional imagery. Complete and continue. And on we go. Now, once they get to the very end of all of those sections, what's going to happen is that when they have clicked complete and continue on every single section, they will have an option to download their certificate of completion. I'm not going to get that option to show right here, right now, because I would have to go through and click continue on all 15 of these sections. I'm not going to keep you here that long. But what would typically happen before this very last section of some other resources is they would get their certificate. And it would have their name on it, which is why it's important to enroll them with their name when you enroll the dad, because that's what will be on the certificate that they will receive. And they can download that certificate. They could email it. So if they needed to email it to a staff member, or if you need to log in as them and download the certificate, once they've received it, it will be available to you to download from inside of the program. So that's pretty much inside of the actual course. As I mentioned, each topic takes about 15 minutes. Now, some people take longer with these topics because they're talking through them, they're talking through it with multiple dads, or others will have the dads, let's say, do 3 at a time. Okay, hey, dad, work on these first 3, and we're going to meet next week and talk about those 3. And then they do them in chunks of 3, which would take 5 visits, 5 weeks, what have you. You could break it up into 2s. You could do 5 a week, right? So there's really no limit there. That's why it's flexible. You get to decide how you're going to have the dad use it and how frequently he needs to complete things. But you got to remember that dads have 60 days total to complete the actual program. And so you want to make sure that you're kind of working with them and scheduling their completion of it before that time. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing the live course. Let me just jump back over here. Go back to my presentation here. All right. So that was a live look inside of ProFathering15. So what I'd like to go through now are several partner case studies about how others are using ProFathering15 so that you might get some ideas, and maybe some of these organizations or agencies are similar to yours, and how they use them. So the first is Southwest Human Agency in Henderson, Tennessee. They are a social services organization. And they work with new dads, non-custodial dads, young dads, and reentry dads via their community partners in 8 different counties. They also partner with a forklift training academy and a barber school. They also meet with program directors and mayors to offer their programs. So this is how they're recruiting dads into their program. Dads are completing they called them classes when they gave me this, but dads are completing the program, ProFathering15, during their own leisure time. So they are actually having the dads do it on their own. And then they say that this is helpful for the dads they work with in particular, because the dads don't have to lose any work hours over coming in for a program. It allows them to share their thoughts privately, working on it on their own. But then, when they do kind of circle back with a staff member, they are saying that, the things they're learning are helping them become better fathers. And they're seeing how life could have been different for them with their own dads, had their dads possibly had some of the same information they're learning here. They do run 24/7 Dad at the Southwest Human Resource Agency, but they offer ProFathering15 as an additional learning tool. And that's especially for those fathers who are working and can't attend the classes. Next up is the City of Waynesboro, Virginia Office on Youth. They offer parenting programs, juvenile intervention programs. They work with a truancy membership and intervention in middle and high schools throughout specific counties in Virginia. So their fathers, their primary referrals are fathers that are mandated by the Department of Social Services to participate in fatherhood or parenting programs. And some of these fathers are currently involved with their children, or they're working on getting visitation. They basically advertise their programs through the local Department of Social Services, courts, schools, their website, and Facebook page. And the way they do it is fathers complete the topics independently, and they report back to a staff member on their progress. What they find the benefits are is that fathers appreciate that it's self-paced and that they can complete it independently. And then for them, they feel like it's also a great benefit if they don't have a 24/7 Dad program running at the time. So several of our partners who do run 24/7 Dad will run it for, say, 12 weeks, and then they may not have another cohort until the next fall. And this is an option, a program that they'll have dads go through when there isn't a 24/7 Dad program running. Next is our friends in Washington State, the Spokane Fatherhood Initiative. They are very fatherhood focused, as their name says. They help dads understand the importance of their role as a father, and they provide them with information and tools to support and encourage them. They've got dads from a wide diversity of backgrounds, differing financial and education levels, family structures, legal issues, histories of addiction or recovery. And they also work with men on work release from prison. So it runs the gamut. Most of their enrollments and the dads who come to them are through referrals from social service agencies, attorneys, probation officers, etc. You can see who those are. But if you want to recruit dads this way, you've got to be very intentional about connecting with these different community organizations, social services, etc., and giving them information that they need so that they can refer the dads and they kind of know what they're referring the dads to. For them, the dads actually must take 24/7 dad AM, but they offer ProFathering15 as an alternative for those who are unable to attend the classes in person with 24/7 Dad AM. So they're using it as an alternate option. They actually purchase their enrollments kind of one-off, or they might buy one or two at a time throughout the year. And that's one of the options that I mentioned, where if this isn't your primary program, it can be a backup. However, they do things a little differently than some of the others I mentioned, which the dad is paired with an NFI certified facilitator. And together they arrange how they're going to complete the course, whether they're going to meet in person at a local fast food spot, whether they're going to meet in person or Zoom or by phone even. And then they agree to that, and then they work through the 15 topics. Next up is the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Their child support, employment, and parenting program works with parents who are ordered to pay child support and kind of works with them to help them overcome different obstacles and, system-related things that they need to get through in order to, be great parents and be involved, as involved as they are able. So they currently have 4 coordinators representing different child support jurisdictions across the state that are working with non-custodial fathers who have open and active child support cases. They have, I think, a total of 32 coordinators. So they just piloted this with 4 to start with, and they're getting ready to roll it out to the rest of the coordinators once these 4 had a chance to use it, see how it works, see how they engage with the dads using ProFathering15. So dads can refer themselves actually to this program, or they can be referred by the courts for assistance in overcoming these barriers with child support. And if they're interested, they're often referred to the fatherhood program for services. So the child support assistance and services is sort of the main offering, the wraparound service, if you will. And then the ProFathering15 is inside of that, where they can learn additionally around being an involved father. So they deliver it virtually. What they do is they have the fathers complete a session on their own, and then they schedule a review session, which typically lasts 45 minutes to an hour, so that the staff member is able to talk through the topic with them. Now, in this case, they actually don't require the dad to complete all of the topics. There are about 5 topics that they find most important for their particular scenario, dealing with child support, co-parenting, things like that. So that's why they are able to really take that time, 45 minutes to an hour, on about 4 or 5 of the topics. But some dads do continue on and complete the rest of the topics to earn their certificate. It's just not a requirement of this particular program. Now, what the fathers are saying, they report that the sessions have helped them better understand their role as a dad, gives them confidence to have necessary but uncomfortable conversations with their children or with the co-parents. And it really just provides them the flexibility to deliver this content virtually because their program is growing across the state. And it's especially helpful for those who just can't attend a traditional in-person program. So again, a very flexible program to use for a wide variety of scenarios. This is a review from a particular practitioner at Main Street Youth and Family Services who reviewed ProFathering15 with the intention of using it with the dads that they serve. They actually provide foster care, adoption, parenting support, transitional housing, and mental health services for vulnerable children, youth, and families. So we saw partners that are serving all sorts of different families and dads. And this particular individual shared why they love ProFathering15. It was a female. She said that she felt the way the information was broken down and was delivered could be widely received by fathers everywhere, regardless of their background. The topics are vast, but they are tied together in a way that models a healthy balance, just like the balance needed to be a healthy man and father. So I thought that was a neat way of phrasing it. As a case manager, she felt the program showed her ways that she can focus on the father's needs, just as she does with the mother. So it actually was a bit of a professional development opportunity for her, which is what we're also finding from organizations that are using this with dads, is that the staff are learning more about what the father's needs are so that they can better support them. She said that she believes many programs and supports are geared towards the mother's needs and emotions and not so much the father's. And so this is an excellent way for them to empower men. And we also asked, what tip would you give to dads considering this? Which is, she said, go in with an open mind and heart. You're not really doing it for yourself alone. Your family depends on you. So dads, we have hundreds of 5-star reviews. I just pulled out a couple here that I found very interesting. We've got TJ Jackson. He loved the program and how it touches all areas of fatherhood. He liked knowing that he is just as much of a nurturer as a provider, and it kind of makes him move differently now in how he raises his son. One thing that he learned that he's taking away is writing out a budget with his son for his son to learn, and then for his son to also feel like he's part of the family picture. I've met plenty of dads who've never even written a budget. I hadn't written one for many years, right? But that's in that money management section. And so this is something that dad took away, and he's actually going to share it with his son, which is great. And the tip he would give to dads considering it, he said, it's worth it to you and your family to go through the program. It may change your life, and it'll definitely change your fathering. The other dad, Martin, I loved his. He said, amazing, amazing. I now feel like a pro dad. I'm ready to kickstart this journey of fatherhood he's expecting. And he said, this program has encapsulated everything a man who wishes to be the best dad needs. It is really helpful, and I bagged some amazing tips. That's my best favorite comment right there. I bagged some amazing tips. He says he's going to take into consideration everything that he learned, and he's going to use it to nurture his children and guide his family as the man of the house. And he said, don't hesitate, clock it. It's worth it. Every topic is very important in this program. So thanks, Martin Taylor. He made me smile. But we've got tons of reviews like this. Dads really like it, and they all take something different away from it. But holistically, they're finding it to be a great program. I have one more review from a dad that's actually a video. So let me go ahead and pull that up for you. Just a short testimonial video to give us a little more color on what dads are saying here.
ProFathering15.
Excuse me. So this is Paul Thomas Jr.
Hello and good day. My name is Paul Thomas, and I just got through completing the ProFathering15 modules, and I think that it really helped in terms of a lot of things I didn't know. For example, verbiage on intimacy. As a man, I think, and how I was raised is I was taught intimacy was like a sexual thing, you know what I'm saying? And what I've learned is that it's good and healthy to be intimate with your children, and by that is giving them a pat on the back and letting them know they're doing great, or giving them a massage on the shoulders, or just simply smiling at them or holding their hand, not simply just when crossing the street, but just in all aspects, just to let them know you love them and establishing the bond of love. And giving your child praise is something that also really resonated with me and hit different, because it just it's something that's very needed and also wanted in children, especially modern day children. And it's just a all in all good program that I really enjoyed. So thank you.
All right, great. So that was Paul. Let me get back to my presentation here. All right. So that was Paul Thomas. So lots of great things from practitioners and dads. So I want to pause here, and I'm going to get out of this so I can actually see everyone. Chris or Justin, are there any questions that you'd like me to answer live? We have a few minutes for that.
This is Chris. No, I've answered them all live, but it would be good, I think, to speak to one of the questions that I answered, which is in relation to whether this is a substitute for the 24/7 Dad program. Can you talk about that, Melissa?
Sure. I would say no, it's not a substitute. While it does cover some similar topics, it is an evidence informed program, while 24/7 Dad is evidence based. So, depending on your organization or funder's requirements for the program, you may choose one versus the other. Obviously, 24/7 Dad is intended, and well, we now have a one on one version, but originally was intended for to be completed in groups. And so the dads benefit from the conversations and the sharing they have with other dads. And so that's very different with a self-paced program. It's certainly helpful, and you get some of that conversation and interaction with those who are actually, a staff person or case manager is going through the program with the dad. But it's definitely not a substitute for it. As you saw, many organizations still run 24/7 Dad, let's say twice a year, but they will fill in with ProFathering15. And then there's some who have the dads take both. Sometimes, it's, the topics, some are similar, but the content is somewhat different. And so I feel like dads still can always learn more about these topics and be inspired, especially let's say they took the 24/7 Dad program in the spring and they are looking for something else to do to, improve their fathering skills, and they take ProFathering15 in the fall. So hopefully those are some good examples of how it can work in tandem with, but not replace 24/7 Dad.
So, Melissa, we've got a couple of questions that have just come in. One from Akwasi Opong. He asks, can you talk through how ProFathering15 can be used virtually in a live workshop? Specifically, how can the fathers follow along and show they have completed every section?
Sure. So what some of our providers are doing is during the virtual meeting, they will show on their screen one of the father's enrollments so that they are actually able to log into the course and display it on the screen. Now, they may have the dads at the same time have a different browser tab open with their own login up. Or it may be that once they meet together, he needs to go log in and just click through those continue buttons that I was showing you, so that his own login has a record of him completing those sections. Again, it's really up to you how you want that to happen, but that is what some organizations are doing when they deliver it virtually.
Okay. Second question from Robert Cummings. He asks, with mental health issues on the rise, do you have a topic that will assist with talking to our fathers that may be dealing with mental health issues?
I don't believe we have one specifically for mental health issues in ProFathering15. Obviously, there are some aspects of fathering that can contribute to your mental health, such as grief and loss, that sort of thing, communication. But we do have a brochure, actually, an excellent brochure on helping dad take charge of his mental health. And that's a very helpful brochure. But none of the topics in ProFathering15 speak specifically to mental health.
And then finally from Sean Simpson, Sean asks, in your experience, has HMRF approved this as an alternative for 24/7 Dad for dads with conflicting schedules? I think I'll go ahead and answer that, Melissa.
Sure.
So Sean, so HMRF doesn't approve or not approve certain curricula from the standpoint that if a curriculum, which is at least evidence informed, because that's what their sort of baseline is for use by HMRF grantees, evidence-based, evidence-informed, and then evidence-based. If you are an HMRF grantee, which I think you are, what you would need to do is talk with your program officer about whether you could use ProFathering15 as an alternative for dads with conflicting schedules. They might come to us as the curriculum developer just to clarify that this is an evidence-informed program, but my guess is that they would be fine with that. And
I
that's
saw,
all.
I saw a
Sorry.
question in the chat about using it in schools. Great idea. We have had some partners use this and its predecessor, which used to be called Fathering in 15, in schools with students. Of course, they had some family engagement coordinators who worked with young dads during lunchtime or a break time, where they would just walk through the topic with the dad. He may or may not have read it beforehand, but being that it's only 15 minutes, it does lend itself to any sort of short, tight schedule that a dad may have. So hopefully that helps answer your question. And again, these topics are, relevant to any dad of any age, any background. So high school dad, sure, absolutely. They need it desperately, probably.
Right. And I'll give you one other quick example. So the Arlington Independent School District in the North Texas area used it to reach the dads of students. So in addition to schools using it to reach and work with teen dads in the schools, there are examples of schools that have used it to reach the dads of the students. We've also got a couple other questions that have come in, Melissa. The first is from Jeff Cookston. Jeff says or asks, children aren't being vaccinated against preventable diseases. Does the program include any information on the importance of fathers' involvement in infant health care? I'll go ahead and answer that, Jeff. No, it does not. The next question is from Omar Branch. In your opinion, do you think the ProFathering 15 courses allot for the creative autonomy to have guest speakers speak on certain topics?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I love that idea. It's flexible, right? That's what we mean by flexible. If you want to bring someone in to augment that topic, absolutely. Money management is a great one. Maybe there's some kind of financial advisor or someone from a bank that you want to have speak to the dads about creating a budget or something like that, or how to open a savings account or something to that effect. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And one of the things that we haven't talked about so far that is a way that organizations sometimes use ProFathering 15 as a supplement or an adjacent program to their main fatherhood program is that they may pick and choose topics from ProFathering 15 that support the same types of topics in their fatherhood program. So they don't necessarily have fathers go through the program in a particular order. In fact, fathers don't need to do that. So fathers can skip around if they want to. But most of the time, organizations that are using it do have fathers go through the program in the order that the topics appear.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Have a couple more slides. Are there any other questions before I go on to that?
Let's see. There is, yes, they're coming in fast and furious here. So
no problem.
from Netra Kathleen, the question is, do you have any other online programs designed for dads who are willing to stick with the online program for longer terms, not for 60 days?
No, this is our only online program offering.
Right. Melissa says, did the name change from Fathering 15 to ProFathering? If so, what's the difference?
So, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Fathering in 15 was the predecessor of ProFathering 15. It was a subscription-based tool. The content the base content has not changed, although it has been augmented by much improved videos and the audio for each topic that was not available in Fathering 15. So this is a much improved version of it. The content, like I said, same topics, but of course, we're always improving on the content. Christopher Brown here actually is the one who is the author, and he's always looking for ways to make sure that the content is fresh and up to date.
The next question is from Dawn Odom. She says, I work as a parent involvement coordinator, and we are interested in working on collaborating to create opportunities to supplement our male engagement initiative. In your opinion, how can we introduce this program to gauge their interest? Oh, you're going to get to that.
Yes. Yes. We do have a 2-week free trial. So you could share it with some dads and show it to them. You could also describe it to them. You could also, we're going to send out a recording of this webinar, so you could share with them the portion of it live, which I'm going to actually chunk up hopefully into a smaller sort of demo video. But yeah, just explaining to them what it is, letting them know how much time is involved. When you subscribe, and actually we could provide this beforehand if needed. We have a short curriculum sort of guide, if you will, so that you can kind of see a bird's eye view of overview of the program, the topics, etc. That a syllabus, if you will, that you could either read from or show to a dad if you really wanted to.
Those are all the questions that I can see at this point, Melissa.
Okay, great. Well, we're right on time. So first of all, I mentioned the 2-week preview offer. Now, Justin will include these instructions specifically in the follow-up email, so don't feel like you have to scramble to write this down. You will also get a copy, a PDF of this presentation, so you'll be able to refer back to this slide. But basically, you're going to go to a specific web address for this 2-week free preview. And similar to how you would use a coupon code if you buy enrollment codes for your dads, you're going to click have a coupon. You're going to enter this particular code to access the preview, and it'll give you the chance to review it for 2 weeks. The only difference is that because you're previewing it and it is a free preview, you will not earn a certificate using the preview. So for the person who had asked if they could, how would they share this with dads? How would they introduce it to them? You could use this 2-week preview for that purpose, but you can't actually have a dad go through it to earn a certificate. So I just like to mention that.
One final question.
Yeah.
About how many hours is the total course?
Well, you've got 15 times 15, right? So if it really takes 15, that is, let's see, 225 minutes. So we are looking at about 3 to 4 hours. 3 hours and 3.75 hours. But again, you know, some people take longer to go through it. Some people may just fly through it shorter. It just depends on how much time they want to take to reflect, and if you're talking it over with a staff person. If you find that you're ready to purchase it, you can contact our resource center. Jackie Evans will be available to assist you. You can enroll through her if you want to pay by a purchase order or you're buying multiple enrollment credits. If you want to just enroll one dad at a time or even enroll yourself to go through it so you earn a certificate, you can do that yourself directly at that link right up there at the top. But we're here to answer any more questions you have after this. Feel free to reach out to us. We hope that this was informative, helpful, and that it might be a program that you can consider using with the dads that you serve. So thank you so much for your time today, and I wish you a great rest of your week and weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.